Shalimar by Guerlain is an extremely popular fragrance, and it is pretty much the perfume that characterized the 20th century along with Chanel No. 5. And the thing about Shalimar is I actually did a complete review of it in a separate video on my channel, but the thing about this particular perfume is that it has pretty much exclusively been marketed towards women ever since its inception in 1925. But I would argue that this is a pretty unisex scent. A lot of people wonder, is Shalimar, can it be worn by men as well as women? I would personally say yes, definitely. But what makes it a unisex scent or potentially a good scent for men? So, the thing about Shalimar, which I have right here as a small sample, that's the full bottle, is this is such a powerful perfume that naturally, I think it could be a very good unisex scent. So, originally, Shalimar was released as an eau de toilette in 1925, and then it was later released as an eau de parfum in, I believe, the 90s, I think 1990, and obviously eau de parfum is a stronger concentration of perfume compared to eau de toilette. So, I mean, even though both concentrations are good, I think, for men or women, some men might prefer just generally a stronger scent, because the eau de toilette will not be as noticeable and it will fade more over time compared to the eau de parfum. So I would say, I mean, Shalimar in general is very different from modern scents. Like modern men's cologne and fragrances tend to be very, very fresh. They have that kind of, it shocks the system, like a bolt of lightning or something. Like Dior Sauvage is a classic men's fragrance. It's very, very strong. And it doesn't necessarily have a warmth. It more has maybe a little bit of spiciness along with that very sharp kind of freshness. It's similar also with like Bleu de Chanel, similar things to that. The thing about Shalimar is that it's kind of a completely different creature, a different breed of perfume. And that's another reason why I think it's good for both men and women. For men in particular, I don't think they would have any problem wearing this scent because, I mean, there are some floral notes in it, but definitely not strong floral notes as you would expect from a stereotypically feminine perfume. The majority of the notes in Shalimar are very bassy, very rich and deep, and well, the top notes in particular consist mainly of citruses, bergamot, lemon, orange, and there's actually a little bit of cedar in the top note. And of course, woody notes are traditionally associated with male fragrances. But right off the bat, there is a certain freshness to the opening notes of Shalimar. Not any kind of sweetness, really. I mean, there's a hint, a whisper of sweetness from the citrus notes, but it's more of a natural, not artificial or synthetic sweetness, natural citrus sweetness. And again, I don't think that's really male or female, it's kind of just general, neutral. The middle notes do have some florals, iris, patchouli, jasmine, rose, and some vetiver. Now, jasmine in particular is not the typical floral note that you would really expect from, it's not overtly feminine. It's more of a rich kind of silky kind of note. And of course the rose and the iris are more traditionally floral, a bit sweet. I wouldn't say though that those come in too strongly with Shalimar in general, because the base notes tend to overpower the middle notes, in my opinion. base notes are very, very powerful, and they consist of musk, tonka bean, civet, sandalwood, opopanax, leather, incense, and vanilla. So of course all of those are definitely very masculine, very strong in general. And so civet is an animalistic note. Sandalwood, I don't know if Guerlain uses real sandalwood or not anymore, because sandalwood is pretty rare. And incense is a note that you don't often see in perfumes, especially women's perfumes. So you could see that Shalimar in general has these really rich, really kind of rugged notes that is unique for a woman's fragrance, but is more typical for a man's fragrance. So the thing about this perfume in particular is that it kind of balances the lighter, fresher citrus notes that you get in the beginning. It also balances out with the floral notes in the middle, and then it has those really rich, kind of hardcore, earthy notes in the bottom. So for that reason, I don't think it would be at all unusual for men to wear Shalimar, especially the eau de parfum. Now, of course, the eau de parfum and the eau de toilette do smell similar. It's the same fragrance, Shalimar. But in general, I would say that the eau de parfum has richer notes of incense and vanilla, while the eau de toilette is not quite as rich as in your face. It's more gentle. So I can imagine for that reason a lot of men would probably gravitate more towards the eau de parfum concentration, just because of the strength and it's kind of more prominent. And in particular, the strongest notes in Shalimar, I would say, are the vanilla and the incense notes. The vanilla becomes more prominent later on as you wear it for several hours. And it's not a very sweet vanilla, it's more like a kind of roasted bourbon vanilla, which is very kind of a seductive kind of scent, rather than a high or sweet or synthetic vanilla. Sometimes you find that kind of vanilla in modern women's perfumes, not so much in old style perfumes. And the incense is also very, very strong, especially as you put it on, you mainly get the citrus notes, but after a few minutes, you really start to get the incense. And it's a really authentic kind of incense. For that reason, it's extremely smoky, very, like I said, a rugged kind of scent. And mixed with the vanilla and the very slightly light or even refreshing or slightly sweet sense of the citrus notes and the light floral notes, that all kind of blends together and layers on top of each other, so that it becomes extremely versatile. Shalimar is, because of how it layers on top of itself and blends together over the hours, it is a very, very good scent for both men and women, I would say. I would say that Guerlain is really missing out by not marketing this towards men as well as women, because I would say that it has the notes that most men would probably like and gravitate towards. And interestingly, a lot of women these days don't like Shalimar. They think it's much too strong, or even old-fashioned. I don't think so. I think Shalimar is pretty timeless, but some women prefer the lighter and more floral scents. So for that reason, I mean, I don't see any reason why most men would have any trouble wearing Shalimar, except for the fact that it does say for women, or, you know, marketed towards women. But if you put that aside, I would say it really is a more unisex scent. And I mean, you could get away with wearing this pretty much anywhere. It's very luxurious, very, you could tell as soon as you put it on that this is a special kind of scent. So if you agree or disagree with Shalimar being a possibly masculine scent as well as a feminine scent, you can leave a comment down below. If you like the video, you can click the like button and possibly subscribe. So I make videos throughout the week, so you could stay tuned for those. That's all.